Hello everyone! In this video we are diving deep into the secrets of blue hour photography, and look who is with me! The one and only Greg Snell.
Hello everyone. Happy to be here in Denmark. It's just past 10 p.m. and we're gonna have a long night.
Yes, we are. We have talked about doing something together for like 3-4-ish years, and we finally managed. You live in Hamburg, which is literally only 3 hours away from the specific place where we are right now.
So I had to come up and finally meet you in person and say hello to you guys, make a video, get some good photos, and explore this awesome part of Denmark. I think it's gonna be good. Right now we got amazing light, and yeah, I think we can get some nice shots.
Yes. Okay, so I am here with Greg, and I am here in Vejle, and I have actually wanted to photograph this building here for quite a long time. So when Greg wanted to come up here, and Greg does a lot of architecture photography, it was obvious to go here and actually get this shot finally. It's, as I said, it's quite a famous building. So as I can see right now, the sunset is definitely going to pop off, and we're going to get some beautiful colors above the wave, even though I actually like the shape up here much more. I have put on the 28-200. I'm around 80 millimeter, and you can see my composition is like this. We have a lot of waves today, so refraction is not good at all. I have put on the ND filter so I can get a really long exposure and just smooth out the waves. And I'm not even sure, honestly, if I'm going to keep them in there. As you can also see, the sunset is going to pop off right there behind. You can see up there, the clouds are already getting some really nice colors. I really like the shape up there. But this video is about blue hour photography, and we will get to that in just a moment. But if you do blue hour photography, obviously, if you're going to do it at sunset or after sunset, get there before sunset and shoot through the sunset and get all those nice photos too that you can get there, and then shoot blue hour. So it has become blue hour now, and the lights are coming up in the town, which looks really nice. So we're just waiting a little bit more where the artificial light of the buildings is balanced out with the ambient light of the landscape, of the scene. And when I'm taking that photo, I should be able to get everything in one frame. However, I'm also making sure that my camera stays in the same place, in the same composition since sunset. So I'm going to take a photo from the sunset part, and I'm going to mix in the artificial light from the buildings into the sunset also, and in that way I'm going to make a time blend. If you want to learn about time blending and blending photos in general, cleaning your photos, focus stacking, blending with luminosity masks, editing with luminosity masks, and much more, be sure to enroll in my big post-processing course, Photoshop for Landscape Photographers. You can get a discount by using the coupon code along with the link down in the description of this video. So settings wise, and the settings are of course going to change as the light is changing, but right now I'm at ISO 50 f16, and that gives me a shutter speed of 30 seconds, so I really smooth out that water. I've also got some shots that are like 2-minute photos where the water is smoothed out even more. I'm going to try that too when it's dark enough. But especially when I have water in a blue hour photo like this, I make sure to try different shutter speeds to really smooth out the water. Sadly today the water is just wavy, so it's better, I find, to smooth it out than just taking one fast shot. So in just a moment I'm going to take the blue hour photo too. So here you will see both the sunset blended photo and the blue hour photo. So we've come down to the harbor area in Vejle, and I'm right now photographing quite also a famous building here in Denmark. And that's the thing about blue hour photography, that buildings with artificial light in combination with the ambient light just looks so good. It is midnight. So it is getting quite dark, but we still have a little bit. We are still in the blue hour because the sun is not 18 degrees below the horizon, and that is the definition of night. And if the sun is between the horizon and 18 degrees below, then it's still blue hour. So what I'm trying right now is to get the reflection of this really, really nice building. Sadly, the water is a little bit uneven because there's a little bit of wind, so we get the waves. However, I am making long exposures, and I'm taking several long exposures that I will just add together and make for like one long exposure. If you want to see how I average out a photo like that, just check out the video up here in the corner. Compositionally, I put on my 16 to 35 millimeter, zoomed a little bit in, and then I have this highly questionable setup that you can hopefully see right here, where I am balancing 1 foot of the tripod out here on this iron thing coming up. I will not advise you to do this, but it is a way I found to problem solve the issue and trying to avoid having the harbor or the pier or whatever you call the line here along the harbor, so I can just like isolate the building out here. So I'm trying a few different shutter speeds because I'm struggling a little bit with the water due to the wind, so I get the ripples, and I'm either going to take a few like 30-second exposures and then blend them together and average out and smooth it out, but I'm also trying like a bulb shot which is at 2 minutes to just like smooth that one out, and then I will see afterwards if I want to blend those photos together. I will just go with a single exposure. All right, Greg, so how do you like Vejle?
Vejle sounds very nice to say, even though there's a J in there, so not pronouncing the J, Vejle. So far, pretty good. I wanted to photograph the wave, so that was very cool. And this is a bit of a bonus. 1 a.m. in the morning, kind of a crazy looking building, but I think I got a couple of nice photos of it. And yeah, Vejle, I mean, from what I've seen, it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
For the 1:30 in the morning.
Yep. So after a few hours and some coffee, we have come to the second largest bridge in all of Denmark, not counting the one connecting Copenhagen and Sweden. This here is, I think in English it's called the Little Belt Bridge, or the new Little Belt Bridge. We actually have the old Little Belt Bridge here in the background. I wanted to photograph this bridge here for years, and right now it's obvious to go for it because it's lit very, very nicely. I have a beautiful long cloud up here behind us that has started catching some of the colors. There's seriously been like red colors on this cloud here for since we arrived, which is like 1.5 hours ago. It's only just now that it's getting bright enough for me to be able to actually talk about this. I've been on the other side of the bridge photographing it from the other side when it was darker, and it was so much about patience, waiting for the water to calm down, and then I could get like different kinds of shots, just a clean shot of the bridge, but also some with some foreground stuff. Right now I've come over here, and already now the balance between the ambient light and the artificial light on the bridge is much easier to work with. It balances each other out. And then I have this really, really nice flower perfectly placed right here that I can use as a foreground and focus stack. So I'm struggling a little bit again with the wind, so I have to up the ISO so I can quicken the shutter speed, and in that way there should be a little interval where there's no wind, the bush is not moving in the wind, and then I can make the camera make the focus stack for me, and then I just put it together myself in post-processing. But I really like this composition where I create like that extra depth with all these beautiful flowers, and then I get a little bit of a reflection of the bridge, and then I have the reddish cloud with the beautiful pillars lit right there. Loads of depth with the different layers leading up to my subject, more or less right there in the middle. Now there's an added sense of depth because it is a bridge, it's a road, so whatever is close to us is obviously broader, and then it moves into the scene and becomes narrower. So that is also a way that we can perceive depth. And if you want to learn more about depth and layers, scale, focal lengths, central or off-central composition, then be sure to get my 2 ebooks on composition. They're super easy to read, minimal text, so many examples, so I get to the point fast and you actually learn something. There are links to both of them down in the description of the video, along with the link to my map, landscape photography map of Denmark, and I'm going to add the locations that I visited in this video to that map. I'm updating the map as I go to new locations. It's super easy to integrate and use with Google Maps. It all comes in the description whenever you get the map. Link to that one also down in the description of the video. So we're still 40 minutes away from actual sunrise, and it's actually getting just really bright now. So the reason for that is that up here in the north in Denmark, the sun doesn't like just go straight up and down when it's sunset or sunrise. It just comes up very slowly. So that is why we actually have a lot of light already now, even though we're so far from sunrise. Another thing that's also important to know when you do blue hour photography and you're photographing artificial light is that at some point that artificial light will not be strong enough to light up whatever your subject is, like in this case the bridge. So even though we are so far from sunrise, the artificial light is just not strong enough, so the effect has kind of gone. And that is where it may be a good reason to photograph throughout the night if you have blue hour throughout the night, and we do that up here in Denmark in the summertime. So, Greg, how are you feeling?
4 a.m. dance, my man. I'm feeling good. Surprisingly, more energy than I thought. I think that coffee helped. The American size extra large at a gas station at 2 in the morning. But feeling good. I think the sunrise has that effect on you for sure.
Yeah, I feel the same. I'm actually surprisingly not tired, considering we've been shooting all through the night and haven't rested, but it will definitely hit me at some point.